Morning, everyone. I want to start out by thanking all of our different county departments that are here with us today to help spread this important message about pool safety. We want to illustrate, especially during the July 4th weekend, that pool and beach safety is of the utmost importance, and it takes all of us working together cooperatively to prevent accidental drownings from happening among our young children. We're here today with our Health Commissioner, Dr. Sherlita Amler, DSS Commissioner Kevin McGuire, Deputy Parks Commissioner Peter Tartaglia, and each one of these departments plays an essential and critical role in ensuring that children are safe when they are at a Westchester County facility. We're also honored today to be joined by Greenburgh parents Heather Landau and Peter Pfeffer. The two of them suffered the tragic loss of their 27-month old daughter Sage, and we're honored to be with them here today as they can share their story so that we can all learn in taking tragedy into triumph. They made it a mission to ensure that accidental drowning deaths don't happen here in Westchester, and we really thank you for your efforts. As we look forward to a fun and festive 4th of July weekend, and as summer heats up, many of you will be heading to the beach and the pools, etc. We want to make sure that whether you're spending time in a beautiful county pool, on the Long Island Sound, or on the Hudson, that we're being safe and secure and spending that time with family and friends. We want to make sure that we want to remind all of our folks today, parents, grandparents, and caretakers, the most important thing to keep in mind this week or any week is the safety of your children. If you're going to be out at a pool, make sure to keep aware and advised. The safety of your children, again, is paramount. We all know too well that accidental drownings can happen in seconds. And sometimes those few seconds make the difference between life and death. So we want to talk about some important safeguards to keep in mind. The first important safeguard is your eyes and your ears. Whether you're here at a vacation rental, enjoying the beautiful Saxon Woods pool, make sure that you keep your eyes and ears open. Never take your eyes off the little ones when they're near the water. Keep your eyes on them always. Again, things happen in an instant. At this point in time, I want to make sure to introduce our Commissioner of Health, who will bring some important information, and that is Dr. Sherlita Amler, who will talk from our Commissioner of Health's perspective. Commissioner.
Thank you. So thank you, Ken. Well, as you all know, children are drawn to water. It's kind of like a magnet to them, and especially pools or lakes and streams. Kids are just fascinated by the water. So what can we do as parents to keep them safe? Well, we can certainly pile on all the protection that we want. Very important around a pool. So you want to make sure that you have self-closing gates that latch. Those gates should be at least 4 foot tall so that children can't get access to the pool if an adult is not with them. It's really great to have an audible alarm. An alarm that when someone enters the area of the pool or when they get into the water, that a sound goes off and alerts you that a child might be in the water and might need assistance. But the most important thing that we can do to protect our children, whether you're a parent, a grandparent, or just a friend or relative visiting, is to make sure that every child is assigned an adult to supervise them. People tend to think that in large groups, when you're having a party or you're having family over, that there's a whole lot of adults there and that creates a safe environment for a child. But actually what happens is in the chaos of many people having conversations and having fun, a child can inadvertently get into the water and drown. So we do have a list of recommended safety measures that we would like to share with you and with the residents of Westchester, and we think with your help we can prevent more children from accidentally drowning in Westchester. I want you to know this really is a real problem. It's a serious problem. Drowning is the leading cause of death from unintentional causes in children between the ages of 1 and 4. And it is the second leading cause of death in children ages 5 to 14 years of age. It's something that we all need to take seriously, especially in the summer months. And those statistics that I just gave you are from the Centers for Disease Control in Atlanta, Georgia. So now I'd like to say that I'm here with many of my colleagues. My other colleagues that are supporting this effort are the Department of Social Service Commissioner Kevin McGuire, Deputy Parks Commissioner Peter Tartaglia, our Board of Health President, Dr. Robert Baker, and Board Member Ruth Merkatz. I've said it 10 times. And we are all here because saving the lives of children is the most important thing that we can do to all of us. And the Board of Health really wants to support this very important effort. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Amler. And keeping in mind, especially in Westchester County, that the Department of Health has a critical role in all of the pool safeties, whether it's at a beach or a club or anything like that, because they do all those inspections and they do a tremendous job in making sure that the water is safe and secure for whatever particular place you happen to go to. Next up, I'd like to introduce the Department of Social Services Commissioner Kevin McGuire.
Good morning. You know, we're here to partner with people to help prevent the death by drowning of another child in Westchester. It can happen. And unfortunately, this year we had a death of a 2-year-old in May. One of the things we want to do is just make sure that many of these drownings are preventable. Clearly, they're accidental. Keep an eye on your children. Anytime you're near a body of water, keep an eye on your children. Make sure that they're safe. Be attentive and be vigilant. And be attentive and vigilant whether or not it's a pool, other bodies of water. I mean, even something as simple as a koi pond. Little kids just like to go up there and see the fish. You don't want them to fall in. You want to make sure that they're safe. And just, you know, talking about general water safety, if you have a very small child and you have the child in a bathtub, don't turn around to get something. That moment could be tragic. So whatever you can do, you know, we would love to work with you to make sure that children have a good time and you have a great time and that everybody goes to the pool and comes home safe. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner. At this time, I'd like to bring up our Board of Health member, Ruth Merkatz. Ruth has the understanding of this more than many other people around do. So we'll let Ruth come up and tell her story. Ruth.
Thank you very much. A parent's worst nightmare and greatest tragedy is losing a child. But out of such tragedy can come great good, and that is what today is all about. I'm proud and humbled to present to you this morning a dear friend, Dr. Heather Landau, and her husband, Daniel Pfeffer. Heather will tell you their story. She will inspire and lead all of you to join in our quest to keep our beloved children safe, especially in the months ahead. I urge you to listen carefully to Heather's message and to take action individually, within your networks, and within your communities by spreading their message. Thank you for being here and for listening. Heather?
Thank you, and thank you to the Board of Health for giving us this opportunity to spread our message. Every day, 10 people die from drowning, and we're here because we would like to change that. Despite being the leading cause of death in children under 5, this topic is not readily spoken about, and we certainly didn't appreciate it until it happened to our family. We were so gratified to learn that the American Academy of Pediatrics is finally taking this seriously. In March, the AAP issued new guidelines detailing strategies to prevent these awful tragedies. One of the most important messages that's under-recognized is that drowning does not happen during swim time, but rather when children have access to water and the adults are preparing meals, cleaning up, packing the car, or doing something similar. And drowning in this age group happens in seconds. In 2015, we were at a vacation home over the summer with our 8-year-old twins and our 27-month-old daughter, Sage. There were 6 adults in the house and 5 older children. The house had both a sliding glass door and a gate that separated the front of the house to the back of the house. Everybody was in the front of the home, and we had no idea that there was any access to the back of the home. We were packing the car, and Sage slipped away for moments, but that was too long. We are now here to show you a simple strategy to help keep children safe, because we've heard of several stories that happen in the same way with children drowning, and it's not during swim time. Sage always had a life preserver on when she was in the backyard, but she was not meant to be in the backyard at that time, and we had no idea how still to this day, how she got into the backyard. But this Water Guardian tag is a tangible reminder that not only drowning happens in seconds, but there has to be a designated adult watching over the children whenever they have access to water. Not only during swim time, but also during times when adults are busy with other responsibilities. Because 80% of deaths in this age group happen during non-swim time. So this is a Water Guardian tag. It is a tangible reminder, and it designates the adult, and when the adult is busy doing something else, they should pass it to an alternative adult to take care of the children. We are partnering with WestMed Pediatrics, with the Board of Health, with other swimming facilities in Westchester County, and giving out as many of these tags to as many families with children at risk, meaning children under 5 or children with special needs are another population that is at risk of drowning, in order to keep children safe. We appreciate the opportunity to work with the Board of Health, who are going to give out 2,000 of these tags to the municipal pools.
First, Heather and Dale, we want to thank you again for not just sharing your story, but being a leader and trying to make sure that this tragedy doesn't happen. And as Heather was just pointing out once again, the times aren't the times just of swimming. The really times for the people under 5 years old are those times when you're busy doing other things and there's access to a pool. And I know that there's so many times that we've seen the instances, especially recently, whether someone has a gate up and a child slipping behind the gate, or whether or not there's something else going on, a party going on with adults, and a young man perishing at the bottom of the pool and no one knew what was going on. This is a particular important point, and again, we want to thank Heather and Dan for both leading the Water Guardian effort, because again, it says that someone needs to be on point all the time, watching the water whenever someone has access to that. So we really thank you for taking this time, and for the Board of Health, the 2,000 Water Guardian cards to make sure that to keep our folks safe and sound throughout the summer. I mean, I always tell people that, again, it just takes a second. We had an incident where it wasn't tragedy because it was the winter, but on our above ground pool, we were going away and we were packing the car to go away, and our youngest guy, who was a swim beast, he loved the water, and he was standing on top of the pool cover, right? So again, it's just that quick, and it can happen to anyone. So again, for all of us keeping the water guardians and monitoring to make sure that those things don't happen. So we're happy to take any questions that you have as a group, or obviously you can talk to any or all of the individuals separately.
Could I add one thing?
Absolutely. Dr. A.
So you heard that it can also, this isn't just pools like this, it's home pools as well. And there's some very important things that people need to remember about home pools. Whether or not you can swim, there should be safety equipment there. Because sometimes the person jumps in the water, they can end up drowning as well when the person latches onto them and won't let go. So if you have a safety hook or a life ring that you can throw into the individual that they can get onto, you can save them from the side of the pool. The other important thing is that if you've got a pool at home or you frequent a pool, having everyone trained in CPR is a very good idea, because if someone drowns, you literally have minutes to try to bring them back. So you really need someone there. And we require all of our pools, all of our county pools, to have individuals who are trained in CPR. So knowing CPR is a really good thing to do, because you might be able to save someone else's life. So I would add those two things.
Okay, thanks, Dr. Questions? All right, well, thank you all for coming. And again, all of the individuals are here to be able to have interviews separately. Thank you so much.